Stand by. Today's call will begin in about 2 minutes. Okay, real quick, we're going to do a mic check. Brandon, can you hear me?
Yep, Brant, we're good.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. If you're on this call, you should be here because you're a client creator member and because you're looking for us to show and tell you how to use this remarkable system. And that's what we're going to do. My name is Rand Smith. With me today is Brandon Christie. He's my business partner in this system and one of the most talented marketers. And what do you call yourself, Brandon? Are you a technician? Are
I
you
don't
a
even know anymore.
programmer? I mean, the name has changed so many times. We've been working together about 10 years, and it's been a pleasure, really. So, Brandon, if you want to turn the screen over to me for just a minute, I want to remind people about something. Can you do that?
Okay, you're good.
Okay. Okay, we've been having a lot of people ask us about what do I do with the leads when they come in? Great question. I want to remind you that on call number 1 of the coaching calls, and I know we've thrown a lot at you. So just let me remind you of what the coaching calls are. Those are those weekly calls we're going to have for 4 weeks, and we're coming up on the 4th week next week, where we go through a number of different additional systems and strategies for you. But if you go to myrealtybiz.com, right up here, MYREALTYBIZ as in zebra.com, you'll get this screen. When you get there, you say choose event. There's only one event, so you can't go wrong. Coaching calls, download materials. Then you enter the passcode, which is lowercase COACH, coach. Click on get the event materials and voila. There you get the download materials for all 4 coaching calls. I'm going to open up call number 1. Why? Because in it, you're going to see that we talked about lead conversion and how to incubate these leads. And there's a recording of that call just in case you missed it so that you can go back and listen to it. But here's a couple of things that I want to remind you about. Let me turn this screen back over. And that is this, the most important thing that you can do with every lead you generate. Let's go with seller leads first. Every seller lead, the minute you generate it within 24 hours, you want to have delivered to their home or snail mail it, or if you have to, send it electronically. But it has a much bigger impact if you can have someone deliver it. And when I say someone, preferably not you. And here's why. If you're the one that delivers it, they might try to talk to you when they see you out there. Hey, what are you doing? Well, I'm dropping off a package of information to tell you everything you need to know and or do to either sell your home yourself, hire the right real estate agent job, or you may decide right now is not the best time to sell anyway. So then you're likely to do and not resist doing a listing presentation of some kind, some makeshift thing. And you don't want to do that. In my listing system, we have a process. We first get the pre-listing package in their hands. Why? It separates you from everyone else. There's no comparison. By comparison, there is none. So you separate yourself from you become more of a trusted advisor licensed commission salesperson that has to sell them something to earn a living. And that's where you want to be. So you get that pre-listing package in their hands, and then you follow in behind it. For buyer leads, on the buyer leads, you may remember on day 2 of the event, I went through the buyer system. There's a part 1 and part 2. You want to deliver part 1 to them, and for buyers, you'll do it electronically, of the buyer lead system. Part 1, you want to get it in their hands within 24 hours as well. And then get the best thing that you can do with these people is to be the first to follow up, do something different, and then continue to follow up. Because NAR says on average, real estates only follow up 2 times. 2 times. And here's what happens. We think, oh, well, they've already, bought a home or they've already listed with somebody. Not true. That is not true. They haven't done something already. Go check it out for yourself and you'll see. They haven't. You want to be able to, you want to be the one that follows up with them until they list, sell, die, buy, or tell you to stop. That's critically important to be quick. And, whoa, what is the pre-listing package? Someone just asked me. Oh, great question. If you weren't at the event, you probably didn't see me present this in the afternoon of day 1. I went through my pre-listing package. My pre-listing package is what I deliver to every seller before I will meet with them. It educates them to the process of what I do to get their home sold and what it takes to get their home sold. There's even interview questions for interviewing other real estate agents, including myself. It is an educational booklet that's very nicely done, and you have it bound. You deliver it. I deliver it in a bright red urgent envelope, 9 by 12. I have those made up at vistaprint.com. They're relatively inexpensive. Okay, they come in a not a cardboard, but a heavy stock. So just like you would get in a FedEx envelope or something of that nature. And it just is red and white. It says urgent. I showed this yesterday, actually, on a call we had. Urgent. There is a template in your download materials. So if you do a search through your downloaded materials for urgent, you'll find it. If not, let us know. Okay, and one other thing I just want to say before I turn it over to Brandon, and we're going to go through the CRM today, which is going to be great for you, I forgot what I was going to say now. Sorry, you guys. I think the other thing I was going to tell you was, I can't remember. All right, so with that being said, it must not have been very important. So let's turn it over to Brandon and he'll get started on the CRM. Brandon, it's all yours.
Okay, thanks, Rand. Okay, like Rand said, I'm going to go through the CRM in Client Creator. So this is going to be as informative. There are a lot of tools and a lot of systems with oh, why am I getting a crash notice? Rand, can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yep, sure can.
Yeah, something happened where it says it.
Just stand by. Brandon will probably get tuned back up. I don't know what happened to him.
All right, can you hear me now?
Somebody asked if we have the, yes, we can, Brandon.
Okay.
Someone asked if we have the Monday morning coffee in Spanish. No, but if you're the one that writes it, we'll work something out with you. Because we wouldn't mind having it in Spanish. Go ahead, Brandon,
Yep,
you're all set.
So I'm going to cover the CRM in as much detail as I possibly can. Now, there are a lot of tools and a lot of features in this, so I'm just going to cover as much as I can without going overboard. But I'm going to go through most of the basic features in the CRM. So obviously, your client manager is your selection right in here, and it's going to take you to. Now, this is our test account. So it's only got a couple of leads in here just so I can use them. So when we come to this screen, this is the summary screen of your client creator or the CRM. So it tells you the total clients you have in here. Right above that is your options that you can do in your CRM. Your client list is going to bring you back to this page. If you want to add a client manually, you'll click on that. It'll bring up your information. You'll just submit this information and it'll add the client into your CRM. Now, this is just going to give you the basic details of the client. After you click on after you add the client, you'll be able to go into the view option, and I'm going to show you this in more detail, and then you'll be able to add, many more features and many more systems in it. But the client ad will just get them into your system, and then you can fine tune them as needed. Current client types. So we set up default client types for you to set up your clients. And you'll see here 30-day buyers, buyer, expired listing, FSBO, and so forth and so on. So these are the default ones that come in that you can assign to each of your clients. But if you have a special category that you use, or you want to customize this how you work your business, you can go in and you can click on an ad. You can add a client type. You can set up anything that you want here, so that way it conforms to your business profile a little bit better. And then once you add it in here, it'll be available to you. And again, very shortly, I'm going to show you where you assign those buyer types. The import option is all here. We get a lot of requests for this. This is the format for the CSV file that you need to import into the system. We provide a format for here. If you click on this, it'll download a CSV file. And if you want to use that as your template, you can just put your information in here and then save it on your computer. And then once you have it saved, you'll just choose file, and it'll automatically upload and it'll automatically map. You have to make sure that it is a CSV file. The biggest issue when people are uploading a file is that it's an Excel spreadsheet format. And unfortunately, you cannot upload an Excel spreadsheet format. It has to be a .csv. That's a comma separated value file. So if you have an upload, you can do that here. Again, our support team is very good at this. So if you have a file, you don't even know how to do a CSV or anything like that, just send it to support@clientcreator.com. They'll format it, upload it, and you'll be good to go. But if you're pretty good tech savvy and you want to tackle it, you can do it right here. It's pretty simple as well. The other option is the export. So if you have and you want to bring this into an Excel spreadsheet or another format, you click on export. It'll export all of the fields, all of your data, all of your clients in a nice, easy file. Email everyone. If you click on that, it'll email all of your clients. Doesn't matter what status they are in, it'll email everyone. So it'll open up a dialog box for you to type in an email and send it out to everyone. I don't always recommend this. It's sending a mass email out to everyone. But if you have managed the list and you want to do a mass email out, a lot of people use this for like the holidays and stuff like that. If they want to create a message, send them a graphic, whatever it may be, then using this. But using this as the primary form of communication, we do not recommend, because again, it's going to send out to every single one of your clients. But if you want to do it, obviously that's your option there. The CRM tutorial video, this is going to go over a lot of what I'm going to cover now in a lot more detail. I cover everything in specific areas in the CRM video. So if you're not sure and you want to get a little bit more detail, I would recommend watching that. I'm going to go through everything again, but this is a lot more detailed and a lot more functional for you. The classic CRM, this is for older members that were used to the old way before we switched over. Don't switch over because it's an old school CRM, but some people are creatures of habit and they like the old style. But this is actually going to go away at the end of February because we're migrating out of that old CRM altogether. We gave people probably about 8 months to use.
Yeah, it's been a long time. For sure.
So we're gonna migrate out of that at the end of February. So that covers that side menu. So I'm going to close that. So then we're back to our list here. So got your total clients and lists. So the search client box here is pretty cool. I mean, if you're searching for something, let's say you're searching one of your clients' first name is Troy. I can see it's on the list there. You just type in Troy, and it'll sort out the Troy list here. If you know the person's email or phone number, you can start typing in a phone number, and it'll populate that, all the people with that information in there. You see it populates that in there. I'm going to get rid of this just so I can clear back to the list, and then I'm going to put in Reading and Verizon. And if you put that in, it'll sort all of the email addresses by the email address. So pretty easy way if you're looking for somebody specific, by email address, by phone number, by their name. You can type that in there to sort that pretty easily.
Hey, Brandon, we had a question. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
Somebody said, are you saying that this could replace our existing CRM? Well, yeah, I guess so. You have to make that decision. You have to decide whether this is easier to use, has more functionality, has all the bells and whistles that you're looking for, the things that you're used to using before you switch your CRM. But you could use it in conjunction with another CRM, although that's probably going to be a tough task.
Yeah, that would definitely be task heavy, but you know, I mean, again, you know, I don't want to encourage anybody to use another CRM, but if you want to just take your leads out of this CRM and bring them into your other one, that's when you would use that export option. And it would export all of your leads that you have in Client Creator. But again, we don't recommend that. But
another question right behind that. If you're a team member and you have two people with separate logins, how does that work?
Yep, it'll have access to everything on your account, except for your account and your billing information, and your realtor setup. So they'll have access to the websites, they'll have access to the email and text, they'll have access to the client manager. They won't be able to go into realtor setup. They won't be able to do any billing information or anything like that.
And on an upcoming webinar, we're going to show you how you add a team member and give them access to most of your data, not all of it, I don't believe, right?
It'll be the entire CRM and the entire websites, and so it basically gives them full access to email and text, websites, client manager.
Okay.
Doesn't give them access to the account information.
Okay, and they're not separate logins, or are they?
They are.
Okay, so someone just said they were told you couldn't have two logins, but in fact,
no. All right, I'm going to go away from that. I just clicked on account. If you go to account options and then team members, you can add your team members here. So you'll set them up with a name, email address, cell phone number, and you'll set them up with a password. If you want them to receive leads, you'll just click this right here. So then they'll receive lead notifications. If you do not want them to receive leads, don't check that. But if you put their name, email information in here, this will be what they use to log into Client Creator.
One time again, slowly, where did you just navigate to?
Account. Option.
Okay, did you go back to the main menu first?
No, I just clicked on account right at the top menu.
You clicked on account. All right, there you go.
Clicked options.
Yep.
And then team members.
There you go.
And then you click add new team member.
Okay. Just want to make sure that didn't go too fast for some people.
No worries.
Oh yeah, someone said, got it, thanks. Okay, so there we go.
All right, so here are also the client types, and it breaks it up, you know, new, in progress, active. So if you click on any of these, it'll sort by the status of them. So you see I clicked on in process. These people are in process. I don't think I have any active. Yeah, I don't have any active. Or if they're all, you want to check for the new ones that just came in that you haven't followed up with or marked. That'll display that list here. The other option you have here is to sort it by different fields. So if you want to sort all of your leads, you're going to have it all in here. So that's primarily where we are. If you want to just produce what was come through a lead capture page, not ones that you manually entered or came from a different source, but just ones that came through a lead capture page, you'll just do lead list here, and that'll show all of these. These are all coming through. Unfortunately, none of these are manually entered, so the leads are going to be the same. If you want to just sort them by phone number, instead of displaying the email address, it'll display everybody's phone number that's on here. You'll see that it'll display the phone number that's listed on here. And if you've deleted a lead and you want to go through those lists here, I don't think I have anything in this account, but if you deleted one accidentally, it'll be listed here, and then you can put it back into your system. But
How long can they, after they've deleted a lead, can they go back and click on this button and find a deleted lead?
forever.
Forever.
We don't theoretically delete any data from your account. Everything is usually there for the taking, but we just clean everything up. If it goes into a deleted state, it goes into like an archive status. So anything can be recoverable.
Right.
Okay. So obviously then we're going to come back to this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to check a couple of these off and show you that another menu comes up. So if I check these 3 clients here, I can send an email to all 3 of them. And just those 3 by clicking on email. It'll send out an email. You can do the subject, type in your text and click send, and it'll send an email just to those 3 clients. Same thing if I select all 3 of them and want to do a text. If I want to text all 3 of them right now and send it, click on all 3 of them, type in your text message and hit send. If I select them, I can also do a change status. If I want to change their status, all of them, from new to let's say active. I'm going to change those to active and hit save. Now I can go to this little active screen and you'll see that those 3 leads are going to go showing up here.
Someone just asked, I already have leads in my CRM, in my Client Creator CRM, but I haven't done anything with my lead capture websites. So how do you explain that?
We had to have started marketing for you already. You probably
Right.
set up a marketing budget. We probably set up your marketing account. So everything is probably moving forward for your account.
Or they found you through a search engine of some kind or
Correct.
something. But if you have leads in there, you're gonna love to see what's coming up.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to select these 3 again, just to show you the other options. So we did change status. Again, we can do change type as well. This is where those types were: buyer, seller, FSBO, stuff like that. And then the last option here we have is if we want to delete them, and that will move them into the deleted status. So again, if you check multiple ones, you can do multiple things. If you want to do just one, you just want to send an email to them without going into the view, you can do that right here too. So you can do multiple functions just from within the main page of the Client Manager. So yeah, again, just by checking what you want to do here, you can select it here. If you don't want to do anything, just uncheck it and the menu will go away.
Okay, we have one more quick question.
Sure.
Somebody said, I live in Kansas, I think, and forgive me if I'm incorrect. I live in Kansas and I got a lead in some other place. I don't know if it's another state or another city. How can that happen? It happens. It just happens. Someone did a search from another state. Maybe they're moving into your area, but don't disregard that lead. And what about if you strike up a relationship with them through the email messaging and giving them value if you refer them to an agent in that area? So always within every one transactions to live, okay? Can we tell if a lead reviews the email or text that is sent? Great question, Brandon.
Yep, I'll cover that. So I'm going to go into a specific lead and just show you the details in the lead. I'm just going to pick this very first one. I think this is the one we worked with last week. So it brings up your details screen. And again, we covered a little bit of this last week, but it's got the name of the client lead here. You got your information, the address, city, state, the email address, the phone number, company that was pulled. Yeah, we did a social contact on this and it pulled up the additional socials. I mean, the social media.
I don't think anybody knows what you mean by that.
Last week we covered on the Zoom when we did this magic button, how it produced all of the social media profiles.
Right.
But that I'll go over this in 1 minute again, just for those who didn't do it. Any of this information in this section, if you want to edit it, change it, add to it, just click on the edit button. It'll bring up all of the information. You can add that information here. Cool little features. If you enter in the date of birth of this person, it'll remind you of their when their birthday is upcoming, or events that are upcoming for, or birthdays are upcoming for the month for specific clients. So if you really want to get that detailed into your clients, you can do that there. But you can modify and change any of this information that is on here. And then once it's on here, just click save, and then it saves the information. The client type, this is where we were talking about earlier. You click on this, it'll change the buyer. We can change it to a past client if they're a past client. If we hit save, you'll see it changes the status on the client type. Client status, this is where we went from active, in progress, closed. We can change it on the very first page that we were in where we selected it, or we can change it here as well. I can put it in as working, and it'll change the status.
All the questions that are being asked on the screen right now, the last 3 anyway, he's going to be answering those in just a few minutes. He'll probably answer all the questions that you have by the end of this call. So just sit tight.
So
we're getting there.
Yep, no worries. So on this one, we have an address of the property on here. So what you can do right here is just click on this little home value, and it'll bring up a home value. The home information pulls up a little satellite photo of this. You pulls up the information. The
is that
address.
my house? It is. It is my house.
Oh, it is. That must be your data must have been in here. Oh, yeah, it says owned, so it's owned by. So it tells you everything you want to know about Rand's house. Do not go visit him. That's funny. So again, if you want to see the property that they're speaking about, you can click on that, and this will pull all of the public data that is located on this property. If you want to zoom out, you can zoom out to see more information. You know, if this pulls in Google Zoom, I mean Google Maps. That's what you're getting this from. But it's a nice, cool little feature. Provides you some data on the home that the buyer or seller is located in. Down here is the preferences. The source of the lead is the lead capture page that they came in on. So whatever lead capture page they engaged with or signed up with, that will be the source of their property, of their details. So if you're not sure how they came into your client lead, your CRM, this will tell you why. If you manually added them in, this will say manually added. This means you did it. The acreage, area of interest, if they fill out this information, it'll be populated here. This was the price range of this one lead with this information. All of this information, again, can be edited. If you talk to them and you find out an area of interest that they're looking for, click on edit. Let's say they're looking in Southern California. Just update that. Anything you want to change here, you know, their asking price, if they're looking for a specific price to sell their home, whatever it may be. You can click on and change that information here, save it, and it'll update. You see that just populated Southern California. So an easy way to edit the data that's in all of your and your client's information. Again, you can get as detailed as you want on here. If one question we do get a lot is, by default, if you've activated the Monday Morning Coffee on your account, all clients are added to your Monday Morning Coffee. So by default, this little thing down here is going to be ticked yes. It's going to have a Y next to it. If for any reason you get they contact you directly and say that they want to be removed from the Monday Morning Coffee, you would just come in here, click on edit, scroll down to the Monday Morning Coffee, and make that a no, which it currently is. And then you hit save. They will no longer receive the Monday Morning Coffee. However, on that topic, if they get a Monday Morning Coffee and they opt out, they click on the opt out, there is links in the email so that they can opt out, and you may not know that they opted out. It'll just update that they opted out, so they won't receive any more Monday Morning Coffees. Okay, so I covered this side of the screen. Now we're going to go into some of the details on the functions of the CRM.
By the way, if we don't get to your questions, you guys, because they're coming in so fast and furious right now, and they're all good. I wish I could answer all of them, but it would just slow us down, and other people that didn't have the same question would get bored and upset with me. So if we didn't answer your question, just send us an email at support@clientcreator.com as soon as this call's over, or do it now. I don't care. We'll get to you. We'll answer all of your questions. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
we got a section up here, add a note, add a task, send an email, send a text. I want to cover those. So if you spoke to this client and you want to add a note to them, just so that you have a point of reference, you can click on add a note, select the date that you put and put in the note, spoke to this client. Hit save. Save the information. You'll see right down here, it populated. So you now have this note in here that you spoke to this client.
This is just too cool.
It's just listed right down here. So if you add, let's say you add another note, need to follow up, and hit save. It'll add a second note to the client. So you'll see that information in here.
Everyone is saved. Everything you do is saved in your client menu here. Correct. In your client, in your individual client. What do you call this screen here, Brandon?
Client details.
Client details. Thank you.
Yep. So you want to come, you'll see all the messages down here. If you want to modify it, you see the little modify button to the right here. Click on that and you can make a change. If you want to modify the text, you can modify the text. If you want to delete it and remove it, just click delete and it'll remove that from your CRM. You see that no longer is listed there. So those are the little notes that you can add to your client to help your help your process a little bit better. Tasks. We're going to click on tasks. So we have 3 different task types: call, an appointment, or to do. So you can select the type of task that you have. Let's say you're going to do a call. We're going to schedule the call next week. We'll do the 17th, and we're going to do it at 3:30 p.m. And we're going to do an end date. We're going to do it about the same. Now, I want to show you 2 different ways to do this. You'll see that I clicked on the calendar right here to do this one. Now I'm just going to click on it and do 1/17/2020. Oh, no, I screwed that up. 2023, and I want to end it at 4:00 p.m. So you can type in it, or you can select the calendar, whatever's easier for you. I personally like to type, honestly, more than I like to click on things, but that's just my personal preference. But you can do both of those within here. Phone call with Rand. Okay. Now, these 3 options here: notify me via email. If I click that, it will let me know when this is upcoming. So it's going to let me know however many days I want to select in the remind. And I'm going to show you that in 1 second. Notify me via text. It means that the system will text me and let me know that this event is upcoming. And if I want to notify the client, if I want to make sure that they're in on the loop as well and know that we have a meeting set up for this, I select that here. Some realtors like to use this, some realtors don't. This is personal preference, whatever you want to do. And the days to remind. So if you wanted to remind you 2 days before the event, 3 days, 4 days, whatever it may be. And you'll just select that here. You put that in the save, and then you'll come down here. If you go to this little task, we were on the notes. Now, if we go to tasks, you'll see we have an old call scheduled already for him. So that'll come up here. Again, if you want to modify it, you just click on the modify button to the right. You can change all of this information. Let's say you don't want to notify the client anymore, just uncheck it, hit save, and it'll save all of that information. So this is the way you can add tasks. Let's say if you want to change it from a call to an appointment, just click on the appointment right there, hit save, and it'll update that. Every task has a different color. Call was blue, appointments green. I'm not sure what to do is. Let's see. Okay, it's a yellow. So there are different options that you can do for your tasks. One other thing I'm going to show you, actually, I didn't show you on the front side, and I apologize. If I click back onto my client manager, you're going to see I have a little to-do that just popped up because it's within the next couple of days. So this shows up on your client manager. And again, this is the same screen we were working with in the very beginning. You'll see that it's going to show up here. So this is, again, when you come into your CRM, you'll see your to-do list and your reminders of what's upcoming. So,
And
obviously you can
it'll
stay
show you that, to-do list for every client that you have some upcoming task.
Yep. Yeah. If
Or,
you have, 5 or 6 of them, it'll display these boxes across the system. So you'll be able to see that. So yeah, I mean, just a quick snapshot of what you've got upcoming or what you have planned for this client. So I apologize. I should have had that on there on the very first screen, but again, this is just the main screen that we were on, and that's where this is appearing for you if you have an upcoming task. So now I'm going to go right back into where we were. I'm going to click on the view. It's going to take us right back into that client details. And now you might notice that sometimes it takes a couple seconds. It's pulling in all of this information. So sometimes, it might take a second or two before that's in. You'll see the task just popped, or the notes just popped up, the task just popped up. So all of that information is on here. So we did add a note, okay, which is here. We did add a task, which are here. And now we're going to do a send an email. Super simple. If you want to send an email directly to this client, bring it up here, brings up the email that you're going to be sending from. So this is your Realtor email, whatever your account information is going to show. The client's email address, which is located right here, and the subject, test email. This pulls in your signature already that's set up in your account, and you just type your message. And then hit send. And that's going to send a message out. So now, how do I see if it's sent? I'm going to click on this email section here. So it's right next to the task. It's going to pull in information, and you're going to see that it was sent out. It might take a second, but hopefully not too long.
And this system is very fast. I'm surprised that's even taking a second.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been taking this long. I'm going to refresh it just to make sure I didn't get out of it. Apologize. Yeah. All right, it's going to come up in a second. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm going to move on. But hopefully that will come up. Oh, here it comes. Oh, it didn't come up.
This is when we love this to happen.
Yeah, really. Oh, there it goes. I'm not even sure why. Okay, so this is going to show you the messages that were sent out for this email address. Now, if you see here, all of these ones in green are saying what the message was sent out and what the status of it. Green means it was delivered. Now, if you're seeing this, it means that they've gotten to their inbox. So the client has received this message. These are the Monday Morning Coffee messages. So again, this is Rand's email address. So these are probably just, crap emails, but I just think that, the status of these will show you that they're being delivered. If it was not delivered, or if it was blocked, or if they opted out, it'll be highlighted. This whole block will be red. And you'll be able to see that and stand out. So this will just give you the status of these messages. Now, if you want to see more details of the message, just click on the view to the right of it. It'll pull up all of the information that it has based on this information on the email address. Now, it shows you status that it's delivered, the subject of it, the IP address that sent it. Now, it does not pull in the actual body of a message. That is a violation for email systems. So it's sensitive data in an email body, so we cannot save or display the actual body of the email message. So that's the only little hiccup on some of these systems, is that we can't pull in that data. It's just not in any type of data stream. So there's a little bit of a limitation on actually what the message says. But this will just show you, if you had a subject line that was specific, it'll tell you what was, when it was sent out and the status of it. If it was delivered and clicked on or opened up, this will change from delivered to opened. So you'll be able to see the status of that as well. So this will give you a lot of information based on the data just from within our system.
Someone asked a great question. Can we CC or BCC ourselves on these so we have a copy of it?
You can. We don't have a BCC on this. I can add it. I mean, I can add a CC on here. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Pretty
Yeah, no,
easy
that's,
to do.
yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. We'll go ahead and add that. And when he says add something, he's very quick.
Yeah,
He is-
it'd be pretty easy to add a module just to do a CC on there. So I mean, that's pretty simple to send an email from that, but yeah, no problem. I can add it right underneath the two. I could probably do a BCC. If you want to send it to multiple people, and this is just a normal email system program, if you want to send it to multiple people, you just separate it by this. So let's say you want to do a support a client creator. Nope. I'm not going to spell it right. So that's how you separate emails. I'm sure many of you probably already know that, but if you want to send it to multiples on top of the client's email address, you can do that. You just separate it with the semicolon. But that's just a little tip there. Okay, we covered the send mail. Now we're going to do a text. Same thing. Pretty simple. Text message is going to be the two, whatever the cell phone number is in here, and you can send the text message. So what happens on a text message? A text message goes out. It does come from our system. So it's going to come from the client creator text message system, and it's going to go to your client. It's going to have your realtor information in it. It's going to say message from Brandon Christie, and it's going to have the message of it. If the client replies to the text message, it doesn't come into the system. It goes directly to you. It goes directly to your phone, your mobile phone that's in your account. So the text message reply from a client to you directly is not tracked in Client Creator because it's not ours, not our text message. So we'll be able to see that there was a reply, but once you start communicating with them directly, it's like you're text messaging, your best friend. We're out of the loop. You're just text messaging one phone to the other. So again, the message will go out. If they reply, we'll see the reply, but then you'll get the message directly from that cell phone. And then, that'll be the last of the tracking of the client creator system, once you start communicating. So we do get a lot of questions on that. So I want to just make sure that's clear. We don't keep a running tally of the text messages when you get them to your personal phone and you're communicating back.
It would be overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, we can't do it. I mean, we can't. That'd be privacy laws based on that. But again, down here was able to show our emails, and again, I'm going to show you text messages. So we do have outgoing text messages. We'll show you all the messages that are going out. You'll see them all here. Let's say you want to click on the view to the right of them, click on view. Again, it'll tell you the information on the, on the message that's going out. So this is outgoing. So incoming will tell you what has come in from your information. So like I said, if they reply to your text message, it will come in and be logged here. So it's saying that they replied to it. But then again, it goes to your cell phone and then you communicate directly with them. So that's the part of the tracking. Outgoing will send the send message out. It'll be tracked here. And then incoming will be their reply, and that got forwarded to your cell phone. I hope that's clear. I was trying to cover that as easily as I possibly can, but that's how the messages work. Okay, so that covers all of the notes, tasks, emails, and the Monday Morning Coffee is the Monday Morning Coffee newsletter. So if you have a client that's on Monday Morning newsletter and you want to make sure that they're receiving it, you'll click on that here. It'll look like the emails, but it'll just show you all the Monday Morning Coffee newsletters. There's nothing here because this client, if you remember, does not receive the Monday Morning Coffee newsletter. So that's why there's no data here. But again, if there was a Monday Morning Coffee newsletter, you want to make sure that they're receiving it. You would just click on right here, and Monday Morning Coffee it'll only be the email tracking for the Monday Morning Coffee newsletter. Won't include anything else. Okay, how are we doing on time? We think we're good, Rand?
Well, yeah, we're a little past time, but I think that's okay. We've got the same number of people on the call
Okay.
as when we started, so everyone
All right.
seems to be able to have the time. We try to keep these to about 30 to 40 minutes, just for when you're rewatching them. It doesn't seem like it's taking forever.
Yeah.
Okay, we know that attention spans are very short these days, especially mine, and Brandon can tell you that. Someone did
Okay.
ask about why it says they have 22 credits available.
Okay, I'll get to that in 1 minute. I'll get to that in 1 minute.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to cover the email and text campaigns because that's a big one too. Email and text campaigns are obviously the emails that are signed to a lead capture page. So this person came in through the 3-bedroom homes, and the email campaign that was assigned to this was the 4-step home buyer. So,
So when it says source down there where you just went under the preferences, that's where every lead that comes in from one of your lead capture websites is logged right there, where the origination of that lead came from, which one of your lead capture websites.
Yep.
So you can always go right here and look and see, okay, which one of my lead capture websites did this lead come from? It's always right there, it's logged. And then you go ahead and go back to the campaigns.
Yep. So this will show, again, I'm in the email campaign. So we're in the 4-step home buyer. It tells you the last time the message was sent to them. So it tells you kind of where they are, but we can see more. Again, just click the modify button to the next, to the right of it. So you'll see that this has all of the email messages that are going out. The date right there, the subject, and the details of the message. And then we go down to the next one. So this one's going to send out on 1/14, the subject of the message, and then the details. Same thing with all of them. So it'll tell you how many emails are going out, when they're going out, and the last one. So the last one for this campaign is going to go out on 1/29. We could do a couple of things with this. Let's say that we want to edit this message before it goes out next week. You want to add something to it. You click on edit. Brings up the information. Entry date is the date of it. So another one that's a little, I'm trying to be as clear on explaining. So if a lead capture page, the lead engages on the 9th of January, all of the email campaigns messages are based on that date. So that's day 0. So if they get a message on day 1, the very first day, they'll get that message. Day 3, they'll get that message. This one's day 8. So 8 days after they sign up, they're getting this message. So that's why this says 8 here. But if we close that out, you'll see that it says 1/14. It's calculating the amount of days from the date that they signed up. So that's why this date says 1/14. But if we click on the edit, it says day 8, because this is day 8 of their campaign from based upon this client when they signed up. So all of the messages are based on that. So somebody who signs up today is not going to get the same message that this client is going to get, because they're starting out in day 0. So they're obviously going to be behind. So that's how the messages are spread out for every client. It's all based upon when they sign up. So every message goes out from the campaigns at specific intervals based on when they sign up. So if we wanted to change that date, we wanted to move it up 1 more day, we could change that. We can hit your stuff in here. You could type in here. You can change the text message here, or the email message here. If you want to change the subject, you can adjust that right up here. So anything we change, we're going to click on here and modify it, and then hit save. So it'll update. You'll see I changed it 1 day. Before it was 1/14. Now it's 1/15. So we just increased it 1 day. So if there's a reason you want to do that, by all means, go ahead. So any message in here, you can modify just by clicking on the edit to the right of it and modify the original message.
In other words, we wanted to give you access to every single component in your CRM that you can access anytime, so that you have full control. That's what I wanted when I created this system, and Brandon put it into bits and bytes. I wanted to have full control. I'm kind of a control freak. So I wanted to be able to do what I wanted to do at any time. If I want to change a message, change the interval of times that those messages go out, change the message itself. It's very easy to do from right here. We tried to make everything as easy to understand and as logical as possible. And I believe that we've done a pretty good job of that. It takes a little bit of a learning curve, but not bad. Really, the
Yeah.
best way to learn it is to start using it.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's say, I mean, again, let's say they have a four-step home buyer. Let's say they, at the end of this month, they're expired. It's done. The last message was sent. You can remove this one by hitting delete, and then you can hit add a campaign. So if we add a campaign, let's say we want to put them on a general buyer campaign. We just select that and hit save, and that'll add a new campaign to their system. You'll see it popped up here. And then if I hit modify, if I want to look at the messages, you'll see that the messages will come out, the information, the details here. So we can base about all of that information in here. So you can change a campaign, you can modify the messages, you can add additional campaigns. Now, the one thing I would recommend is do not have them on multiple campaigns at the one time. You can send them too many messages. So I would recommend deleting them and only have one campaign at a time. I do have people come in and say that they want to have multiple campaigns running at one time. Again, I don't recommend it, but it can just send too many messages out from the system.
Now, somebody just said they don't have any campaigns showing up. That would happen if it's a lead that didn't come in from one of your lead capture pages, and they didn't finish the sign up process, so that a particular lead follow-up campaign was not assigned to it. Do I have that right? Brandon's
correct. They have to opt in, and in order to opt in, they have to validate their information. So our system will prevent anybody from coming to a lead capture page and putting in a false email address and then activating that. So I can't log in and use Rand's email address and sign him up for something and just start getting messages sent to him. There's going to be that two-step validation process that we spoke about, where he's going to have to get an email or a text and enter in that code and validate the information. So that's what our system will not send out to information people that have not opted in or have not validated. So
now, won't it just show new lead up there where their name would go? If they went through part of your lead capture website, but did not finish the process, it will show their address in most cases.
Yeah, it'll show whatever information has been entered before they closed out of the lead capture page. So if we only captured the address would show. If they just entered in their email address and phone number but didn't validate it, you'll still have the information here, and you can still do a follow-up, but we would just have to validate it before we can send out anything out to them.
And how do we validate it?
Our system will automatically validate it. Sends them out an email. And also this one's validated, so it doesn't show. Let me see if I have one. I'll show you real quick.
And yes, somebody asked me if that system was automated, the validation. Did they get the code?
Automated. Okay, see this one here? It says email's not verified. So that means that they have not opted in yet. So that happens one of two reasons. One, they received an email, you manually added them in, and they haven't validated it yet, or they did not go through the two-step verification process. So our system will automatically send out an email for validation. And if you want to manually send it out, you can just click on this green button and it'll send it out to them again. All messages are branded with your information on them as the reorder, so they'll know who it's coming from. And they have to, they have to click on a link in there to opt in. And that's the process that goes through to opt in and approve emails to be sent out.
I think we're going to need to wrap this up.
Okay, no problem. But I want to cover. I'm going to come back to the email campaign. The text campaign is very similar to that as well. You have text campaigns that you can get assigned to this. So the text campaigns are going to be the same thing. Modify, and it's going to be quick messages. You can see, obviously, there's no subject matter in a text campaign. Everything's pretty much, just a, visual text only, because that's how they work. Same thing, if you want to edit them, you can come in and edit the messages. Sorry, I'm going fast on this one. The credits here are based on this contact and social search. Remember, we looked up the, we did this magic button to pull in the information based on the lead information. This looks up social media profiles, additional phone numbers, additional email addresses. So when you click on this, you'll do a process lookup. And then once you process the lookup, if it's successful, it'll pull in all of that information into the account. And if it's successful, this one's not successful because we already did it. That's why it's already pulling this.
Yeah, we did it last week.
We
Yes.
did it last week.
But you gotta use that magic button on all of your leads, because it will give you every phone number and every email address that is associated with that property and that person.
correct.
And that is huge.
Now, you
Believe
did
me.
notice that we did click the magic button and process one. It was unsuccessful, but the credits did not go down. This only goes down if you process one and it is successful. We give you 25 to start out with to use. It is a great service. If you want to add more, credits, you just click on this add button, and there are additional purchase prices for 50 lookups, $25, 100 lookups, 40, 200 for 70. So, very, affordable, upgrade for a great tool, to be quite honest with you.
What is that,
really
50 cents each?
just about, I think it's just about that.
Yeah.
But you could see it's going to pull in all this information. It's going to pull in your social media profiles for the to contact them. So that's what those credits are for. They're for this section right in here. You could also do a phone number lookup. So if you don't have a phone number for this client, but you have an email address, and for some reason this magic button wasn't able to get it, this phone lookup will give you all of the information for phone numbers based on the address that's in here. So because we have a property address, we can do a phone lookup search. You click on that. This one takes a little bit longer because it's a little bit more in depth. It does it
in
based on-
batches. Yeah.
Yeah, it does it in batches. So it takes about a half hour to 45 minutes to get it. So you queue this up by processing the lookup, and then you'll get, it'll be added to the system, and then you'll be notified via text message once it's ready. If there's a process to, if there's a results for the lookup, it'll automatically populate our system. Once it looks it up, it'll automatically populate the phone number sections in here. If it finds more than one phone number, it'll populate one up here, and then the rest will go into this phone number other, and you'll see them listed here. So again, that's what those credits are for. When you sign up, we give you 25, but if you use all of them on your clients and you want to add more, you just click on the add and select how many you want to add, and it'll go. It'll add those credits back to your profile. All right, Rand, I guess we'll end
Okay.
it there.
And just a last reminder, if you still have questions, and it looks like we still do have questions, email us at support@clientcreator.com. We'll see you next week at the same time. We'll continue this process. But if you want to get some training, like, well, gosh, I want to just keep going on this, go in, log into Client Creator, and go to the main menu. You can go down to the video training sections, and you'll have all of our webinars that you can go through and all the training modules that you can just keep going and get ahead of everyone else. It's up to you. You can go at the pace that we've set, which is once a week, just because we don't want to bombard you with too much. I mean, we could do it every day as far as we're concerned, but we want to do it because we know you're busy. We want to schedule it once a week to get you through the whole process. So we're going to be together for quite a while. Okay, but the shortcut is right here. All right, thank you all very much. We'll see you next week. Brandon, great job. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's 41 questions. We're not going to be able to get to them all. I'm sorry. I apologize. Have a great day. Bye-bye.